Brothers and sisters, generals, welcome to another edition of EBX discussion. And may that great divine just be in our life as I always do. I call down protection for ourselves and from ourselves, so we never ever become our own worst enemy. So if we are alive and breathing, as I always say, we are back to conquer another day, another year, and another decade. So never forget that, and salute to my divine children, my biological children. Same with family, divine family, and my biological family. Salute, and just keep being the warriors we are on our different journeys that we all are on, and I always and forever will honor thy ancestors, those who fought hard to get many of us in that great divine space that we are in, ancestors, brother and sisters who were generals, what we're going to get into. Man, before social media, they had little or nothing. And what did they have, folks? Their divine spirit, their determination, that warrior spirit within. Because you got that warrior spirit, nothing can stop us. And the great divine promotes us to a general spirit, which we're going to get into. So stay with it. And salute to all the great content creators out there, the righteous ones now. It's getting real, and as I say 1,000 times, when we in them righteous circles, we'll know who the generals are and we'll know who our allies are. That's very important, knowing who our allies are, far and near. And that can be in our family, could be brothers and sisters in the world, online, even children. When we have a broad scope thinking, we won't miss nothing. The entities of the so-called matrix won't stand a damn chance, because the generals and warriors are here, because it gets to a point in our life where truth becomes a way of life. Truth becomes a way of life. It becomes a part of us. It's more than just speaking it. We embody it. We show it. We lead by example in our lives. And salute to my son, Lord Lamont. We'll be having another father and son discussion. I'm beginning to really enjoy them. And I am volunteering in my son Ethan's school. I didn't go today. I was supposed to volunteer today. I might go tomorrow. I might not. I don't want to say I am and I don't. But I didn't make it today, so I will be honest about things like that. Again, that's an example. When truth becomes a way of life, even when we make a mistake and fumble, no, we face it head on, like one's banner and or thumbnail. And I showed this banner and thumbnail before, but this is kind of a sequel to the last one, and I put it in the end screen. And the name of it was Righteous Honor Breeds Warriors, and it really does. And this is kind of a sequel to that, a part 2. And but we find this out on this journey in levels of awareness or age. Truth automatically becomes a way of life, and then we step into that new level of thinking. Once we're aware and went through the levels, brother, sister, family, in the world, online, then we become a true general of justice. Like EBXCARES, like on the banner here, like I said, thumbnail and or banner, spell breaker at your service, not looking to get nothing, looking to get paid. Only thing I ask of listeners and one spell breakers, thank you, Lord Lamont, he came up with that, is to pass any positive energy or anything one gets from this channel, whether it's music from myself, Lord Lamont, L'Oreal Lyrical, may she rest in peace and in power. Positive word, take that positive energy and pass it on to someone else. If one is being positive and not harming anyone, of course we have to observe and vet and all these things. But time teaches us. They say time tells, but time teaches us, as well as Mama Nature in that universe. Salute. As we all know, and I say all the time, what we harbor inside, no one can hide what they harbor inside, whether it's good or bad. But it's good, that's wonderful, because it'll come out. Because sometimes people be shy and stuff like that. I used to be shy, but now it's a strategic thing. I move like the ninjas we see on one's banner and or thumbnail, but righteously, not sneaking and, and plotting and all that shit. You're not going to get anywhere. And when we're doing something positive and we step over into something toxic, it'll make everything we did for nothing. So it's stupid. So be as right as we can, as warriors, as generals, and divine things will follow automatically. That's how principles work. So thank those that's been riding along, and just a little advice. Take little breaks from social media and life, and just sit back and observe and absorb as much knowledge, righteous knowledge that is, as we can, and be a true general for justice, and of course, like Malcolm X said, rest in peace and in power. He knew the things that would come. He knew the challenges he would be facing. But once we tap into that warrior spirit, and I've been on this, we don't care. We can't help it. Our spirit can't tolerate nonsense, false, fakeness. It will begin to disgust us, So that's what stepping into a warrior spirit and being a true general of justice is all about. Again, we know the complications and challenges will come. That's why we study. That's why we observe. That's why we stay on guard as a warrior and/or general. And as many of us say, and I say a lot, when we are ready, we don't have to get ready. We stay on point. And paranoia is a thing of the past. It's staying on point and keeping one's willpower strong, because things are coming at us. As I always say, folks, if not all angles, every angle. And of course, I want to get into, I'll do one summary before the hip hop break, because of course I'm gonna have a hip hop break for the hip hop heads out there, the music lovers, and it's good for our chakras. And look for another chakra podcast. I got to get to it. I've done 6 right here on my channel. I'll put one of them in the end screen. I'll put the podcast I said earlier about the be a ninja and back evil down. That was another podcast where I had these same ninjas on the thumbnail and or banner, and the depiction was, and I'm not the only one to speak on this, but just sometimes we resonate. That's another thing. When we become into that truth and it becomes a way of life, we'll know if we resonate with someone or if someone like copying somebody like that. But we'll know the difference because our intuition will be heightened. Our discernment becomes better. We see better, So sometimes a lot of us just resonate. It sometimes it can be a little weird, because I see things like I said or something in somebody else's video. I don't be like, oh, they're copying. No, I like some of us just resonate, especially melanated brothers and sisters. We just resonate like that sometimes, But again, we become wise and not playing and not plotting, and our thinking and judgment and our mind is not clouded. Again, we'll know who the allies are, and those are the ones that we'll resonate with. And that could be brother, sister, family, children, in the world, online. See, a broad scope. That's what a true general is all about. So, and it's just wonderful, and we just flow with it and keep adding to humanity and or culture, but I got, like I said, I got a couple of songs I'm gonna play here on the hip hop break, and I like to read because, as I said before, it's good for our cognitive functions as well as many things, working out, exercising. I was meditating yesterday and I was thinking about I stretch and everything, but I'm gonna take it to another level. I'm gonna go back to, because I haven't done sit-ups in a while, and I was thinking about it, and I was actually listening to a T.I. song, and he's I think it was one of his songs. He said he got a something in his Maybach and 6-pack on his shirt or something like that. So I thought it made me think about sit-ups. I was like, man, I remember I used to have I actually used to have an 8-pack, to be honest, and I want to get back to that. So I'm going to start doing sit-ups, and I'm going to keep those posted on that. I'm going to go back to doing sit-ups and just, getting the body back in shape, and no matter what age we are, we can always do things to make ourselves healthy. Because, of course, stretching, exercising, eating, resting, all plays a part in our psyche, our nervous system, our health, our thinking. So many things tie in to our immune system, brothers and sisters, our thoughts, everything. Study these areas in our body, and we can become invincible as far as our thinking. And when we stay sharp, we anticipate things, and we won't be in, which most of us that are aware in our general salute, we don't have a lot of challenges. A lot of stuff bounce off, and we become like the sun, as I said in the podcast. Toxic things won't even get near us, we be like the sun, We burn up evil things on the spot. Don't even get near us. It's a, by the time it get near us, it's a vapor. It's gone. So that's what being a true general of justice is all about. And when we be a justice in our own lives, things we don't like in the world, things that influence our children, our kids, because I volunteer, I deal with kids. So, and I get angry when I see things that's not good for our children, and I will speak up about it. And these algorithms and YouTube, they can do whatever they want, but you can't stop a true warrior or a true general, period. So we gotta stand on our truth and don't back down, back evil down, and it'll dissipate and disappear. So embrace the honor of a ninja. That's why I got this on the banner and or thumbnail. And the evil shadow don't stand a damn chance. We stay on it, and face our fears. It make us become even stronger, more of an even stronger warrior. I always like to bring up when things are going good, that's when we really pay attention. Don't get comfortable or take things for granted. And I want to give a little example. I want to kind of speak on the workplace for a minute. Now, many of us either had jobs or got jobs. And just in my opinion, there's a certain code. You really have to be a general on these jobs, because you can get wrapped up in gossip and your name gets thrown around. You have to focus, do your work, and get the hell out of there. That's my code. That's the code. That one code there's many codes, but a few codes. One of them is don't get too comfortable on the job. That's code number 1. Code number 2, don't sexually harass females. And this could be the male, female, or male. You gotta watch that kind of shit. It can come back and bite you on the ass. So that's code number 2. Code number 3, and these things we do for ourselves, not for the job, kissing ass, brown nosing. No, these are codes to not just survive, but thrive, beyond the workplace. But I'm just saying, with things we have to do to survive or thrive while we're in the workplace. Now, most of us are aware about the jobs and, the workplace and all that. So, but we be on time and all that and do what we're supposed to do. That's just part of the code. Not for the job, not brown nosing. That's what we're supposed to do. And it gives you a sense of security, not 100%, but a sense. I have to say a sense of security on the job, because when you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're in time. It's not being obedient to them or kissing their ass. I'm just saying it's a code you go by. It ain't too many things they can do. Now, just had a brother on my job, a good brother is in him. He can be a good brother, but I know how I used to be. I always bring up, I used to have a challenge with lusting. Now, we just had a brother get fired from my job, and it took him a while to fire him, because that's one thing I can say about my job. It takes him a while to fire you. Not a lot of jobs are like that, because what this brother did, a job would have fired him immediately, but they gave him chance after chance. He was late, he was calling off, not really performing on the job. Of course, they're going to fire you. That's the code. You got to do your job while you're there. Again, it's not brown nosing or kissing ass. It's a code we have to go by as warriors and generals, because we don't know what's coming down the road as humans. But guess what does know? That great divine. So that's why we have to get in meditation and or deep prayer, so we can think, be able to anticipate things. I love to say scenarios can save our life. I did a podcast on that. But I want to go back to this brother, and there's many examples like this. Again, I always love to say, we can do one little small effed up thing. It'll mess up at least part of our life, depending on what it is. It can mess up a good portion of our life or the rest of our life, And this brother, he would always come up to me sometimes with little pictures of girls, women and stuff. Like, man, I'm not interested in that. I'm a man. I see women just like anybody else, but I'm over that. I've conquered that part of my life, so I'm not into that. It doesn't sway me one way or another. I think sisters are very beautiful, and I'm looking to teach and lift them up, and not be like, not all brothers, because we got some good brothers out here. Salute, but the toxic ones, we got to break that spell, break that cycle, so to speak. I heard a brother speaking on that here recently, but and the brother got infatuated with this other sister that was on, and she was attractive, she was beautiful, and and he got himself fired, and he couldn't help himself. He was saying all kind of crazy stuff to her and making her feel uncomfortable, almost scared. That's not good, fellas. Real talk. We got to be considerate of one's feelings. For one, not put our expectations on these sisters. You know, we thinking all this crazy crap in our mind, and we put these expectations on these sisters, and they don't even know it. So he couldn't help himself, and he got himself fired. And that's just one example of what goes on in life. We see in this industry, et cetera, et cetera. So that's not being a general. That's why I said, when we're not ready or in our mind, things can take us over, because things in this life test us all the time, whether we're looking for the test or not. Sometimes we don't even know we're being tested, because again, as I told my son, Lord Lamont, salute, divine will spank that ass. We always, not all people now, but some look at this God force, and I'm talking about the real God force in the pit of our soul, in our gut. That's what I'm talking about, that God spirit, not man's God, not pleasurized God, not this made up God. One that really keeps us on the right track from doing toxic things or involving ourselves in toxicity when it'll mess us up down the road. Because my favorite phrase, what we do righteous in the present will always and forever benefit us in the future. And that's in our lives, children, family, significant other, we have one, finances, you name it. Discipline is the pinnacle of our life. Discipline and respect, that's the pinnacle of our life. Real talk. So, and I kind of felt bad for the brother. He just had a lot of things happen in his life, as we all have as melanated brothers and sisters. Because I don't condone what some individuals do, whether it's brother or sister. But at the same time, as I learned from Brother Kwaku, I understand. But one have to help themselves if they're healthy, mind, body, and soul. And and this brother, he just got, and the sister was attractive. She's beautiful, but you had to be careful, and be cool with them, and talk to the sisters and all, because sisters get tired of that shit. They really do. Women in general, but speaking on my sisters, they get hit on all the time, and that's what us brothers got to think about. Not some of us do, but the ones that don't, they get hit on. I remember I did a survey. I was meditating, because I have daughters, and my daughters have told me stories, that women in general, females in general, but sisters get hit on from the time they turn, I say from the age of 10, 11 on, and they get hit on all the time. So, they've heard it all. So that's what brothers got to think about. But we have to be aware to think about these things, so. But again, this brother that got fired, it's just things that happen in his life. It's things he has within that he hasn't dealt with, that he has to deal with. Goes back to what I said a few minutes ago, and I say a lot. Things we harbor inside that we don't deal with, that will burst out. You will implode. It will come out, especially if it's bad, toxic, and lustful. And again, lusting can be anything, and not just sexual. It can be money, attention, etc., etc. But if you're really toxic and lustful, sexually, it'll trickle out to other things in your life, So go back to what I said a little while ago. We can do one small itty bitty toxic thing that will F up our whole life. And then we spend, especially if it's up in our golden years, which is terrible. And we fight the rest of our life trying to fix and get back that energy we just wasted, because I say time and time again, we all gonna get old one day. So we better do somewhat righteous in the present. Unless you want to suffer in your golden years, that's on you. Again, this is for those who are healthy, mind, body, and soul. Brother, sister, family. So I want to, let me see. I guess I'm going to go ahead and go to a hip hop break. Then I'm going to come back and read these couple of summaries. And it's wonderful when truth becomes a way of life. It becomes seventh nature. And I got, I like my spell breaker statements. I got 3 spell breaker statements. And I'll read them when I come back. And keep being a true general of justice, brothers and sisters, like your boy EBXCARES, all day, every day. And because there were those that cared for me and taught me, and those I learned from. Also some hard truths. We gotta be ready for them hard truths. Everything can't be all happy and sunshine. We got to get them hard truths too, because that's what molds us. That's what shapes us and helps us to grow righteously. It's wonderful. It's beautiful when one is finally aware and on point, like a general should be, like the ninja you see on my banner, looking to see how he looking back, like ready, ain't even moving. And that's what a person that has divine confidence within. We don't move. We don't budge. I'll even draw a saying from the Bible. Again, you have to strategically read through that Bible. You gotta be careful. We gotta search that truth within us. What's in us. What divine how do we perceive divine in our soul? Not through no Bible or through no pastor, but you can pull some things from the Bible. I lost my train of thought. I was going to say what was in the Bible. But, as I said, be strategic in what we pull from that Bible, because great divine is not nothing small. As I said, it's the most powerful being we'll ever experience in this life. Mother Nature, universe, those things are very, very powerful. And it's all around us. It's not just in one spot. So be a true general of justice, brothers and sisters, and just go with that divine. Just be right off the bat. Other great things will follow, whether we in a small space or big space. That's another thing. Don't compare. Don't look at where we are, because if we stuck in where we are, if we think we small, we won't see what's before us. We won't see what's beyond. As I said, we never know when that divine is testing us, whether we think it's a positive force out there or not. I say a million times, live our life a certain way, and we'll see what we get in return. Whether it's evil or it's good. So always go back to the individual. And I do want to go back to something I was going to bring out of that Bible that I was going to say, but it'll come to me. But again, be a warrior within, our own warrior, a leader within. And as I always say, we teach others to become leaders themselves. All right, I'm going to get to this hip hop break. And as I said, be like this ninja on my banner. See how it's not even moving? That's what I was going to draw from that Bible. Thou shalt not be moved. Stand firm. As I said in the past, evil is a coward. And that's why evil things or evil people, I'm talking about evil people who rotten to the core, especially if they're aware and they don't care about their behavior or how they affect others. Anything goes with an evil individual. So if they get it out of them, good. But some never do, and that's sad. It really is, because like many other great brothers and sisters and warriors out there in generals, we don't want to see hurt in others. But people who do evil things, as Brother Kwaku said, they bring evil things upon themselves. So we stand firm, brothers and sisters. I don't give a damn. Thou shalt not be moved, and keep teaching. And remember, great things coming down the road. That's why we can't let little small insignificant things stop us, because great divine is always watching whether we think there's a positive force out there or not. I'm clinging to it. I'm staying with it. Too many great things I've seen in my life, my family, children, brothers and sisters I've met along the way, in the world, online, so came too far to stop now. Great divine didn't get many of us in the space we're in for nothing. So think about that. Ponder that. The foundation we're standing on right now, it's not for nothing. It's not an accident, brothers and sisters. Just like how entities of the world designed this matrix by design, that's exactly how the great divine works. Anything we've come across, or abundance, or a blessing, or a blessing, it wasn't no accident, folks, because the great divine works the same way, as well as Mother Nature, by principles. And we in that right space, everything will move accordingly. That's how nature and the principles are supposed to work. As natural, melanated brothers and sisters. We can do things naturally. It's beautiful, So when I come back, I got some summaries and 3 spell breaker statements. And I'm going to get to this hip hop break. And y'all know I always got a hip hop break, because I love music. And again, I'm going to put in the end screen, I'm going to put one of the chakra. The last chakra I did was a throat chakra. And I think there was 6. That's a 6th chakra, if I'm not mistaken. So I got one more because I did all 7 chakras. I did all of them individually because I've said in the past. I think that's the best way to get to know oneself is to study our chakras. Because again, not only are we learning about our chakras, there's other things we learn along the way. Because I always like to reiterate, when we look up definitions, there's other things in that definition we'll come upon. So because that's the beauty of seeking knowledge, righteous knowledge. Other things come along. You see words in the definition you don't know or say, or you see something you just like, oh wow, I didn't know that. So that's the beauty, because it can be fun, looking up knowledge and reading and stuff. Because as I heard from Professor Griff, salute, who was a great general, reading can be fun to the mental. So, and seeking knowledge can also be fun to the mental, righteous, especially when it impacts our lives and the world, our children, family, etc., etc. Add to humanity and our culture. It's a beautiful thing, brothers and sisters. Beautiful. So I'll be back, and the first song up is Stand Up Right, and I'll be back with the next hip hop song. And the last chakra I won't say, it's number 7. Again, the throat chakra, or one of the chakra podcasts I did will be in the end screen, and the other podcast I did with the General Ninja that I got here on the banner and or thumbnail, that'll be in the end screen. This is kind of a sequel of that podcast, and EBXCARES, True General for Justice. And man, be thankful if we listen and we have learned and picked up little jewels along the way to get us to that divine foundation we're standing on. Salute to all my generals out there in my family, brothers and sisters, children in the world, online. Stand up right. We came too far. Don't let nothing insignificant stop our divine walk, as generals, warriors. Salute. All right. Be back after this. Wake up music. My brothers, we gotta stand up right, and never go out without a fight. Hey, sisters, gotta stand up right, and never go out without a fight. Brothers gotta stand up right, and never go out without a fight. Hey, and sisters gotta stand up right, and never go out without a fight. And I do what I gotta do, and I gotta kick this truth. I want us to win and never ever lose. Never be confused, and be an intelligent brother and sister, and never know who. And watch our children and protect our family. And we try our best, or do our best to stay free. Deep within is the only way to win. And yeah, I don't care about toxic shit or no sin. I don't get lost up in this shit, and I just keep this beautiful gift. And I just try my best to lift us up and always be uplifted. In our soul is how one stay strong, how stay up in these songs. And I protect a Lord of mine in his own. My children and all of our families gotta watch, there's so much going on out here in these streets. Let's go. My brothers gotta stand up right, and never go out without a fight. Hey, sisters gotta stand up right, and never go out without a fight. And I've been through some things, and this is why I sang. I keep on doing this, and I make your ears ring with nothing but true power in this life, and I crush that devil every hour. I've been through the fire, that divine I admire. I sing in these songs to lift our souls higher, and yes, some new things, and never be no lame. And stay smart, brothers and sisters, never be no lame, and don't go insane. Brothers gotta stand up right, and never go out without a fight. Hey, sisters gotta stand up right, and never go out without a fight. brothers and sisters. Never go out without a fight. Real talk, Brothers, sisters, family, Been through too much, like I said. And I played these songs before. They're just a little reminder, so I might have played them in the past. And for those who may not have heard it. So some songs I might replay, but they relate to what the topic I'm speaking on sometimes, and I love hip hop, so it's beautiful. Hold that thought. All right. Sorry about that, brothers and sisters. Well, let's get back. I was trying to fix something, but it ain't acting right. But I don't want to. All right. Sorry for the pause. Thank those that's been riding along. I appreciate you. Next song is Rebel in E. And a lot of us feel this. We all, that's awakened and tired of the bull. We all got that rebel, So what you feel in you, I feel in me. Rebel in E. Be back after this. Shit. Wake up music. Shit. Never stop. For that great divine. Let's go. Salute. There's a rebel in E. I never lose that love. But that's deep in D. Brothers and sisters. There's a rebel in E. I never ever lose that love. But that's deep in D. Brothers and sisters, there's a rebel in E. Keep on grooving, never no losing. Do exactly what I gotta do and get that love from up above. Try one best, man, to be a good bruh. Never low, I stay on our toes in this life while we on the go. But keep that divine in our mind. Man, I promise you we'll be fine. Always see our family in these streets, but we gotta be a beast. There's so much death and murder going on. And in this life, man, we gotta stay strong. That's why I do this in these songs, in that great divine zone. Never will stop, we're never alone. There's a rebel in E. I never lose that love. That's us deep in D. Brothers and sisters, there's a rebel in E. I never ever lose that love. It's so deep in D. Brothers and sisters, there's a rebel in life has made me stronger. Never wonder, I know what is in my gut. And here never looking down, man, I keep us a looking up. Good energy is all I see. I try one best to be a good E. I never will stop, you never know quit. Yeah, in this life I never quit. Go. There's a rebel in E. I never lose that love. It's so deep in D. There's a rebel in E. There's a rebel in E. But I never lose that love. It's so deep in D. Brothers and sisters, there's a rebel in E. But I never lose that love. So deep in D. There's a rebel in E. Wake up music. I never lose that love. It's so deep in D. Real talk, brothers and sisters. Never lose that love. Deep in D. It can be challenging to maintain because we got entities around us, but some of us have had love embedded in our soul. I'm talking about real love, where we love ourselves to the point where we won't let outside toxic events taint that love. Because if we love ourselves, we can love another. I say it all the time. If you don't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? I mean, if you just flat out don't care about yourself, come on now. You don't care about yourself. So that's why, and like I say, it's unfortunate to vet things, person, place, or thing, but these times we're living in, as we all speak on, a little different. So we got to stay on guard as a general, because as I said a little while ago, truth becomes a way of life. It's more than just clout chasing and getting views. No, we exercise it in our own lives, our family lives, our children. We have to be truth within oneself, even when it's truth or truthful, or have the truth in oneself, even when it's not easy. That's what molds us. That's what makes us stronger. and makes us more aware. We were just truthful and honest, And so like I said, I was supposed to volunteer today and I didn't, and I overslept. I was a little tired, but I'm still going to volunteer. I see my son on the weekends, and so I'll do whatever it takes. Like I said about Malcolm X, rest in peace and in power. He knew the challenges that would come, and many other leaders like him. I just always bring up Malcolm X. Sisters too, salute the generals that knew, brother or sister that was before us, that knew the challenges would come. But it's just a fire in us that we refuse to let anything put it out. It gets like that. Truth becomes a way of life, and a true general emerges. It's beautiful, but when we real about it and not playing, because again, we always got to remember, especially my truth sayers out there, salute one's allies, because I know who my allies are. I don't know about nobody else. I know who they are, and I mentioned them. I spoke on them in a father and son discussion with Lord Lamont, who, I said their names and everything. That old sneaky hiding shit, we need to stop that, because I have my preference, as I told my son, Lord Lamont. I move like a righteous ninja, but I support those without them even knowing it. And it's not, because I remember seeing this video that went viral. It was a little real. And that's another thing. We have to watch what comes into our psyche. As I like to say, if we got right in our soul and we're not harboring anything evil or no malice, we have nothing to worry about. But I seen this video. It was a little real. They said it went viral. And the lady said, it was a sister. She said, she was talking about silent haters. See, that's something I'm not. It's just how I move. I've always moved like this, though. This ain't nothing new. I've always been one to keep to myself. Even before I wasn't really aware of myself, I always kept to myself. So, and I just carry that same spirit. But one knows I know who my allies are, and I have no malice. I mean, again, this will be all for nothing. I have children, people that somewhat look up to me. So as I told my son, Lord Lamont, if I'm not disciplined, it's a ripple effect. It would affect him. It would affect my children, my family. We had to think about those things, so what we harbor inside is very, very important. So in a way she was right, in a way she wasn't, because you do have people out there that are silent haters that's looking to take one down and sabotage inside. No, I don't do that. As I told my son, Lord Lamont, I don't do a lot of commenting. I don't go in chat rooms. I don't even go in there. I exit it out, because we are supposed to, especially the upright teachers out here who are fortunate to have platforms. As I told him, Lord Lamont, salute. I'm there to learn and to listen, because things like that, especially if we're adults, if we're sneaking and them people, it's dumb, going on people's platforms with other emails and all that dumbass shit, especially if you're a healthy adult. Shame on you. You shouldn't be doing. That's part of the fucking problem. So no, but I do agree with some of that, because there's a lot of that going on, but that's not me. It's just how one moves, and one who has a good discernment knows, like the brother I listen to, and many brothers and sisters, they know, so in some videos I have commented on, maybe in the past, but I just don't comment a lot. I don't let social media consume me. I've been over that. I've graduated from social media a long time ago. Now I just flow naturally. I'm with that divine, because once that great divine steps in, it's a done data. And I'm not special. Any brother or sister can have this power. And it's not a power over no one or nothing like that. It's just a deep power within. And we become a true general for justice. All right. So that's how I move. But I love the things I've learned along the way, whether it's my family, brother, sister, in the world, online. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. So how somebody could be toxic and just fuck up their life, I don't understand. I don't understand or understand or overstand that, because life can be so good when we just do what the fuck we supposed to do and just be a right human being off the bat. And the spiritual, other deep stuff will come, because we can't see great divine things if we're doing toxic shit. It's impossible. Again, we're human, we make mistakes, but I'm talking about people who are intentionally thinking things wrong or feeling malice. They ain't gonna get nowhere. They're gonna suffer. Whether because again, I don't care how cunning, sneaky we think we are, smarter we think we are. People like that usually fall the most or the hardest. So, because I've been there, done that. What we harbor inside Mama Nature, that great divine, and that universe will draw it out. Good or bad, it's not a matter of if. Sooner or later. Just keep living, buddy. As I always say, my grandmother used to say, rest in peace and in power. So, all right, let's get to these summaries. I'm going to salute you divine warriors on to your divine life. And the first summary, my leaders and teachers, is the spirit of a general, a divine general. So let's get into it. All right. The spirit of a general refers to the core qualities of leadership: courage, unwavering faith, and strategic vision that characterize a general, particularly in a spiritual context, where it signifies a person deeply empowered by the divine spirit to fulfill divine's purpose with exceptional effectiveness. Beautiful. Like the ninja on my banner here, how he just standing there chilling, because when one is confident in oneself, one will not be moved by everything. When you're confident in yourself, you won't be swayed by, voluptuous girls, or like the brother I was just speaking on a little while ago on the job. He used to always come up to me with these, videos of these girls, and I'm like, man, I'm at work, man. I ain't got time for that shit. So you got to be careful of that stuff. Again, I'm a man. I see girls and all that, but nah, been there, done that. I have, 5 kids by 5 different baby mothers. So if that don't tell you something, so, and not to sound like I'm bragging, but like the brother said in Best Man, and there are many brothers like this, not just me. I haven't had enough women 10 men could have. Real talk. Been there, so that doesn't sway me one way or another. And that's being a general. Because again, there are more important things out here in this world that some people so stuck in these small spaces, not even aware of the bigger picture out here. What evil entities is closing in. We got to be ready for stuff like that. Out here doing petty, toxic shit, you're going to get caught off guard. All right. This phrase, still talking about the spirit of a righteous general. All right, let's go. Let me see. True general of justice. This phrase popularized, divine generals describes individuals who demonstrate profound spiritual maturity, leading others to righteousness, and serve as a conduit. That's a word I never use. As a conduit, conduit, for powerful spiritual movements, embodying, I said that word a little while ago, a dynamic and active presence of that great divine in the world. And an active presence. Again, it's not divine is not a light switch. That God spirit within, it's not a light switch. We put that divine in everything. Good, bad, I don't care. Put it in everything, but especially when things are going good. That's when we stay grateful, stay thankful. Don't get too comfortable. That's danger, like the brother I was talking about on that job. That was just an example, how things can go left on these jobs. So got to be careful. All right, let's go. And I do call down protection on that brother. I hope he be okay and just learn from his mistakes, and can't take that same behavior to another job. Just because we leave a job, we have to think about why we got fired from that job or whatever. Not that everything is about a job. It's an experience. We got to learn from one's experience. That's what develops a tough or strong general. All right, spiritual wisdom and authority. Divine generals are spiritually wise individuals who act as a spiritual leaders. Notice I said generals, more than one. That's what Lord Lamont and myself, we are generating. Spell breakers, generals. That's what we're supposed to do. All right. Spiritual leaders, guiding many to righteousness and salvation. Unwavering faith and integrity. That's what divine generals possess. A strong spiritual foundation and demonstrate deep personal integrity and unwavering faith. Thou shalt not be moved, like my banner here. Facing any evil shadow. Don't give a damn what it is. We got to be like that in our spirit. Embodying a spirit of devotion to that great, great divine. Purposeful action. These individuals are deeply, still talking about my listeners, y'all. That's what we are, divine generals. All right. These individuals are deeply connected to that great divine's plans, take ownership of spiritual path laid out for us. All right. Power and anointing, and which is beautiful. That evil entities, and like I said, people who have malice within, or a person, place, thing that carries evil, they can sense when one has a powerful general spirit. They can sense it. Trust me. Evil entities of the world know. They know who the generals are out here. So, but we gotta know. As I heard a brother say recently, we don't know who we are, but they know who we are. That's a spell that's a cycle that has to get broken. We have to become more knowledgeable. But in retrospect, there are a lot of generals out there that are knowledgeable. So salute to those who are aware and knowledgeable. Brother, sister, family, in the world, online, and children. You got a lot of like-minded, bright children out there. All right. Power and anointing. They are marked by their powerful connection to that divine spirit, allowing them to act effectively and powerfully in our or their service to that great divine. Because that's how I look at myself. I'm spell breaker at your service, here to generate other spell breakers, because there were those that helped me and got me through. You know, like I said, truth becomes a way of life. And let me see. Stay being a true general of justice, brothers and sisters. I don't care what comes at us. Study, research, learn, from experiences, play out scenarios. Like I said, could save our life. Yep. And truth becomes seventh nature. It gets to that point where it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Seventh nature, which means completion. But the levels never stop, as many of us say. The levels never stop until we transition. Because we'll never know everything, but we can know enough to thrive in this life, not survive. This world, these entities of the world will put us in a survival mode. No, we need to be in a thriving mode, not always surviving, because surviving almost connects to being desperate. That's another thing. Never let ourselves become desperate, especially when it comes to lusting and stuff like that. We really have to ponder and analyze things if we're able to get to that space. Again, if we're bogged down with wrong thoughts, malice, lusting after attention, money, sex, man, danger. It's all right. Second spell breaker statement. The first one was the truth becomes seventh nature. And share our fruits. That's the secret connection to that great divine. We share our fruits that we have bared, and it doesn't always have to be seen. Because as I like to say, the most powerful connection to that great divine is the things that the world don't see, when we're not looking for recognition, and we just do what that great divine called us to be or do, which is a powerful general, righteous general. All right, that was the second spell breaker statement. Well, that was a side note. The first spell breaker statement was, when we stay with it and connected and researching and learning, we become seventh nature. Share our fruits that we bear, even in secret. That's when it's the most powerful. That's that secret connection. All right. Second spell breaker statement. Fake things will begin to disgust us. And that can be person, place, thing. We can't do it. It bothers us. Fake shit will bother us. That's when we have really stepped into that truth. When we can't do lies and we can't do fake shit. Like I give an example, many of us that have jobs, and it's an overall thing. I'm just using a job as an example. People who are fake, I can't do that shit. Like people who speak to me when I know they're fake, it bothers me. I don't even speak to them. I'm sorry, not that I'm better or nothing like that. But when we get to a place of truth in oneself, we have no tolerance for fake shit. So especially when we up in age and we have gotten wise and been through some of us some tough challenges. So that's what mold us and make us become a general of justice. And that's in the world, ourselves, etc., especially these jobs. And we get to the point, we don't try to hurt feelings, but the truth, we will stand with the truth. We will always choose the truth when we become a general of justice. So I don't play that. And people can feel it. People know when you're real. They know. And just be real. It's just better, It makes you look younger. It's good for our immune system, All right, last but not least, third spell breaker statement. Once that divine steps in, I spoke on this in a little video I did. It was like 1 minute or something like that. I just wanted to show my face because I'm always on these audios. as well as Lord Lamont. We'll do some footage. We'll show our face. But I said on there, once that divine steps in into our soul, it's a done data. It's nothing no one can do. Real talk. Especially when we've seen divine events in the past. I always say that little reflection is our evidence. Those divine moments that we can't explain, and there's a power. If we cling to it, go deeper, researching it, and not think it's weird. There's a cosmic being out there that connects to righteous energy. Because I was meditating about that great divine, how I think the great divine will be bored sometimes, because think about it. And this is just an imagination I want to put into one spellbreakers who's listening. Salute, divine warriors, generals. I would, I'm sure, just in my opinion, great divine probably get bored. Because think about it. If we were that great divine and we could see the whole universe, the whole world, think about it. It sees the same toxic individuals do the same thing over and over and over. Think about that. Just imagine if we had to watch the same toxic individuals do the same thing for infinity. You know what I'm saying? That would be boring. It would be depressing. So of course that great divine is going to get excited and work with the righteous generals out here, because they're far and few. So that's why a lot of us get a lot of blessings in one's life. Because there's a lot of evil out here, but also there's a lot of righteous generals out here. So that's why a lot of us end up doing good, and we follow our righteous path, and more things come. And guess what? The treat is we generate generals along the way. Because again, it's important that we know who our allies are, far or near, even if we're not speaking with them. Because again, we can have divine, righteous, spiritual allies, and that can be in our family, brothers and sisters in the world and online. And don't forget our children, even your significant other, that can be your ally. It's all how we look at things, folks. We got to be a general and don't get stuck in petty shit, and look at the overall picture. Look at those who are suffering, who don't have homes, who are homeless and not doing good. And you got some, as I say, that might be poor, whether it's male, female, brother or sister, that's very grateful and don't got no money. You know what I mean? So that's what we got to get back to. Act like we don't have nothing. Even those that may be fortunate to have a home, or, and have some kind of stability. Be thankful in those in the good times. Don't complain and moan, because there are those that don't have shit. As I told my son, Lord Lamont, I walk down Lisbon Street here in the Milltown. Well, not walk, I drive down Lisbon Street, and it's sad, to see some of my sisters out there. And a lot of them are up in age, and they still out here on these streets, prostituting. It's heartbreaking. It really is so heartbreaking. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what are they gonna do, when these, the money is going into digital and things are changing, and these people are gonna be lost. But may that great divine be in their life and wake them up and give them some kind of stability. So when I drive down, because when I go down Lisbon Street, that's my way to my son's house. That's my route. But it always just reminds me to be thankful. And whenever I see a homeless person, if I'm able to, if I got it right then and there, I help them. I give them some money. I don't even think about it. Because remember, folks, we hear time and time again, whatever we put out is what we get back. That's real. That's more than just a saying. That's real. Whether it comes sooner or later, it always go back to what we hear 1,000 times. It depends on what an individual is harboring in that soul. So we better be a general, best way we can. And I always say, if we can't help ourselves, please, I'm begging you, please get help. Whether it's therapy, counseling, just to get stuff into, just to talk to someone, to get shit out of us that's inside, so we can be that general, and be blazing in our golden years as brother, sister, family in the world, online. So when I said about that brother at the job, I want the best for him. I don't want to see nobody go through bad. And I reiterate what Brother Kwaku said: those who harbor malice, evil within, wrong intent, they bring judgment upon themselves. So we don't have to judge no one. That's evil. They do it to themselves. Accountability is a beautiful thing. Might not be easy sometimes, but you feel better. As well as being truthful and honest, you feel better. Like I said about me volunteering, I was supposed to volunteer today, and I did tell my son I was gonna be there. and I overslept. I didn't make it, but I will continue volunteering, and I'm always real honest with him, and just honest in general. We have to be, and it just, again, it's good for our immune system, keeps us looking young, and we help others, because we never know what someone may be going through within, and that's real. So that's why we got to generate generals out here. So thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX discussion, and I'll keep saluting generals on and keep generating divine warriors as those that did me. So stay with it, brothers and sisters. Again, stick to that reflection, the evidence, what that great divine has done for us in our life. A lot of us have blazed through this life, been through some wars, man. So be thankful and stand firm and salute yourself, and pass that energy on to others, so we can keep our circle stabilized, because there are generals in our circle. Again, we got to be in those right spaces to see it, and not stuck in this dumbass human flesh, because the human flesh will take you down. Forget the things on the outside. If we don't break through toxic things that our flesh wants, we won't get anywhere, because as we all know, the flesh is a mother hubber. Real talk. The flesh can, man, take you down. Real talk. So conquer that flesh, brothers and sisters. And we will, in truth, and I'm telling you, it'd be automatic. Truth will become a way of life. And a lot of us are living this. So stay with it, brothers and sisters. And be like my banner here. How that ninja standing there, ain't scared at all. Waiting for that shadow. Daring that evil shadow to move. We get like that. We dare an evil entity to do something. We know all their tactics. We know what they do. We know how they manipulate YouTube and social media and views. We know that shit. But we're not doing it for that, right? We're doing it for that great divine, as we all have done, So salute to my divine generals out there. And keep on being a true general for justice. Salute.